Good morning, I'm Craig Negrelli. It's Monday, March 31st, 2025, and these are your Unbiased Updates. Incredible devastation in Myanmar and Thailand. The death toll from a killer earthquake is rising this morning as rescue efforts continue. We have some of the heartbreaking numbers. And President Trump airs his frustrations with both Russia and Ukraine, what he believes is holding up a peace deal to end the war, and what happens from here.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
This morning, search and rescue efforts continue in Myanmar and Thailand as the death toll climbs in the wake of Friday's 7.7 magnitude earthquake. In Myanmar, more than 1,700 people are confirmed dead so far. A government spokesman says at least 300 people remain missing. Another 3,000 are injured. Just this morning, rescuers pulled a woman from the ruins of a hotel in Myanmar's second largest city, Mandalay, after she was trapped under rubble for more than 65 hours. Mandalay is near the epicenter of the quake. A lack of heavy machinery has slowed search and rescue operations, forcing many rescuers to slowly search for survivors by hand in the relentless heat with daily temperatures above 100 degrees. The U.S. Geological Service is predicting Myanmar's death toll could top 10,000 when all is said and done. Meantime, rescue efforts also continue in Bangkok, Thailand, as more than 70 people are believed to be trapped under the rubble of a skyscraper. It was under construction and collapsed. Thailand's prime minister was set to visit the site, but was delayed after crews detected possible signs of life. Bangkok's deputy governor told reporters she was not sure what the sign of possible life was and cautioned there was no certainty that the signal the crews detected indicated a survivor. So far, at least 18 people are confirmed dead in Thailand. As President Trump presses forward to fulfill his campaign promise of ending the war between Russia and Ukraine, he's expressing frustration with both countries' leaders. On Sunday, the president told reporters negotiators are making a lot of progress, but also said there's tremendous hatred between Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, making it tough to come to an agreement. NBC News reported the criticism began with an early morning phone interview between President Trump and Meet the Press anchor Kristen Welker, in which President Trump reportedly said he's, quote, pissed off at Putin for recent comments Putin made about Zelensky's credibility. Last week, Putin said Zelensky lacks the legitimacy to sign a peace deal and suggested Ukraine needs a transitional government that might not include Zelensky. But it wasn't just Putin President Trump had harsh words for. He also accused Ukrainian leader Zelensky of trying to back out of a deal with the United States.
And I think Zelensky, by the way, I see he's trying to back out of the rare earth deal. And if he does that, he's got some problems, big problems. We made a deal on rare earth. And now he's saying, well, you know, I want to renegotiate the deal. He wants to be a member of NATO. Well, he was never going to be a member of NATO. He understands that. So if he's looking to renegotiate the deal, he's got big problems.
Ukrainian President Zelensky, meanwhile, is urging the United States and its partners to increase pressure on Russia, saying, quote, Putin couldn't care less about diplomacy. Zelensky says Russia has intensified its strikes against Ukraine, despite the American proposal for an unconditional ceasefire, which Russia has effectively rejected. Now to the ongoing war in the Middle East. The Israeli military issued sweeping evacuation orders this morning for most of the city of Rafah in the Gaza Strip, suggesting the military could soon launch a major ground operation there. The move comes after Israel ended its ceasefire with Hamas in Gaza and renewed its air and ground war earlier this month, vowing to intensify its military operations until Hamas releases the remaining 59 hostages it holds, 24 of whom are believed to be alive. Israel is also now demanding Hamas disarm and leave the Gaza Strip entirely. On Sunday, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said his country will take charge of security in Gaza after the war and implement President Trump's proposal to resettle Gaza's Palestinian population in other countries. Meantime, the United States is continuing its bombardment of Houthi targets in Yemen. The Iran-backed militant group is an ally of Hamas and has regularly fired missiles at Israel since the war in Gaza broke out in October of 2023, as well as attacked American and Israeli ships in the Red Sea. Houthi officials say at least one person was killed overnight, but the full extent of the damage is not yet clear. It follows a particularly intense round of U.S. airstrikes against Houthi rebels in Yemen on Friday. The Trump administration has said it's placing the blame for any attacks by Houthi rebels on Iran, though Iran denies having anything to do with them. Meantime, Iran's president said on Sunday his country has officially informed the United States that it rejects direct negotiations with the U.S. over its rapidly advancing nuclear program, but has left the door open for indirect negotiations. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has announced a plan to upgrade the U.S. military command in Japan. Hegseth said Japan is an indispensable partner to the United States in combating Chinese aggression. Japan's defense minister says the U.S. and Japan have agreed to accelerate plans to jointly develop and produce missiles to help ease a shortage of munitions. They've also agreed to speed up the process involving the maintenance of U.S. warships and warplanes in Japan to strengthen and complement Japanese and U.S. defense industries. Wearing a cheesehead, President Trump's right-hand man, the head of the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk, was in Green Bay, Wisconsin on Sunday, campaigning for a conservative in a key race for the state's highest court. Musk gave out two $1 million checks to voters. Democrats had tried to stop the payout, claiming Wisconsin law prohibits offering anything of value to induce anyone to vote. Musk's attorneys argued the giveaways amount to free speech. Two lower courts rejected the Democrats' legal challenge. As for the race itself, conservative Brad Schimel is running against liberal Susan Crawford for control of the Wisconsin Supreme Court. Right now, liberals hold a 4-3 majority. Musk and other supporters of Schimel have spent more than $20 million to try to change the court's ideological makeup in a key battleground state. It is largely viewed as a race that might determine the makeup of the U.S. House of Representatives, with the High Court possibly deciding the key issue of redistricting congressional districts in Wisconsin. Musk said, quote, if the Supreme Court is able to redraw the districts, they will gerrymander the district and deprive Wisconsin of 2 seats on the Republican side. They will try to stop all government reforms we are getting done for you, the American people, end quote. Crawford's allies have campaigned against Musk's influence in the race. The election is Tuesday. Finally this morning, for only the second time since the seeding began in 1979, the top 4 seeds in the NCAA men's basketball tournament have made it to the Final Four. On Sunday, Auburn sealed the deal by defeating Michigan State 70-64. The Tigers will face the Florida Gators. The Gators came from behind on Saturday to beat Texas Tech 84-79. That sets up one semifinal. On the other side of the bracket, number 1 Duke had a convincing win in prime time on Saturday night. The Blue Devils knocked off Alabama 85-65. Duke has 3 top-notch freshmen in its lineup, including Cooper Flagg, who many consider to be the best player in college basketball. Duke will play Houston and its stifling defense. The Cougars held Tennessee to just 15 first-half points yesterday and routed the Vols 69-50. The Final Four is this Saturday in San Antonio. Should be some good games. Those are your unbiased updates for this Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great day.